Order. So roll call, please.
Director Sailors. Present. Director Clark. Director Costa.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now is a public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within the committee's scope, including items on or not on the agenda. Do we have any speakers?
No attendees, sir.
No, not for the,
All right. Thank you. So then we'll go to the consent agenda. It's the minutes. Anyone have any questions or comments? All right. Can we get a motion to approve? All right, we have a first and a second.
perfect.
Roll call, please.
Director Sailors. Aye. Director Clark. Director Costa.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. So for presentation items, our first item, the district vehicle use policy was pulled for further review and will be brought back at a future date. So we'll move to item number 2, board policy 01.001.03, non-discrimination policy. And we have our Chief Human Resources Officer, Melissa Maddox.
Good evening, directors, Chief House. As you said, tonight I'm here to present the non-discrimination policy. Previously, it was called the disabilities and age discrimination policy, but we've kind of combined those into a new policy that's all encompassing of all of the requirements that we need in any kind of discrimination policy. It was originally created back in 2009. It was last revised in 2017. And now we've also made some additional adjustments to include all protected classes required by California state and federal laws, in addition to some new language that's required by Homeland Security because we're an agency that receives federal grants. As you know, this is a board policy. So tonight, if you have any additional edits or recommendations, we can make those. And then the next time we would bring it back to full board for approval. As you can see, the policy itself, the edited version is quite long. There's a lot of red lines. So I'll just go over some of the main changes that we've added. As I said, it includes new language required by the Department of Homeland Security due to the district being an agency that receives federal grants. So to start with, first in the background, under the background section, in the first paragraph, that's where we added all the protected classes that are now identified. Also under background, under paragraph 3, we added the DHS required language that referenced the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, or PWFA, that requires covered employers to provide reasonable accommodation to qualified employees. I do want to note, though, that the district was already compliant with that act. It just had not previously been referenced in the policy. Under scope, again, we have more of the DHS required language, which states that no business or public or private serving the public can discriminate based on a customer's national origin, sex, religion, color, or race. The policy also under scope, the policy now applies to district employees and program participants, customers, clients, consumers, and members of the public. This will be an employee and a public, this will be an employee and publicly accessible policy. And I'll get to that a little bit later where those are going to be located. Under definitions, we added a few new definitions, one for limited English proficiency or LEP, and also meaningful access. Both of those definitions were required to be added to the policy by DHS. Under policy, we added language not only prohibiting discrimination in employment, but also prohibiting discrimination in services that we provide. And we also added language regarding the district demographics, defining the number and proportion of the limited English proficiency population as required by DHS. So there's a chart in there, you'll see that. Under procedures, we clearly define how an employee can file a complaint with the district and how an employee can file a complaint with outside agencies. such as the Civil Rights Division and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Clearly defines how clients, patients, customers, vendors, or members of the public can file a complaint with the district and outside agencies. We added language regarding access for individuals with limited English proficiency and how to request interpretation and translation services. And getting to the end, added language regarding how clients, patients, customers, vendors, and members of the public can request reasonable accommodation in employment. And as I said, once this is approved, the policy gets approved by the board, it'll be uploaded to our website. And we will also add the how to button on our website where the public or employees can access the policy. They can access how to file a complaint. They can access how to request a reasonable accommodation or any kind of LEP services that they may need. And it'll also be a way for them to file a complaint, which would come directly to me and HR to handle and process. That's pretty much the overview of the changes, but like I said, I know it's a long policy, so I'd be happy to answer any questions you have or take any suggestions before we bring it back to full board.
Right. Any comments or questions? All right. Well, you answered mine. And you mentioned on the website, there's a how-to, so the public could request, because as we discussed earlier, there was some questions around how the public would have access. So I appreciate you
Yes.
answering that. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's not up there yet. We want to wait till the policy.
Once the policies,
Normal, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, very good.
Yep.
Thank you.
And just one more thing that I just wanted to kind of mention, what we're working on. As you heard, the vehicle policy got postponed to December, but I'm confident we'll have those changes by the next policy committee in December. We will also have our FMLA policy, which again, you'll see many times, maybe twice a year, because the laws keep changing. So we're also planning a revised discipline policy because we've also been working on other policies that kind of go in a package for some of our assistant chiefs to understand how investigations work. So that's coming to in December, hopefully. Next year, some of the bigger policies that we're planning on hopefully getting done is our drug and alcohol policy and our driver's license requirement policy. So, and there's lots of other ones, but those are the big ones that we're hoping to get completed in the near future. So, and if that's all I have, if you have any more questions for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just have to send this on to the board. So there's no formal action to be taken. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. And there's been no changes, so we'll just send it on to the board. All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of the meeting. So our next meeting is November 14th. And so we are adjourned. Thank you.